Hey traders, I'm James, one of the content team leaders here at A1 Trading, and as we start today's stream, I wanted to let you know about one of our show's main sponsors, FX2 Funding. With all the craziness going on in the prop firm space, we're excited to share some of the solutions FX2 Funding has put together for their traders. First, FX2 is rolling out DX Trade, which is a web-based trading platform that provides traders a smooth trading experience. It also looks super cool too, but that's not all. By signing up with FX2, you get access to C-Trade. C-Trade is a trading terminal where you can create custom indicators or download ones from the community. Get access to all of this and more by signing up for FX2. So, for traders looking to get funded, you can get 15% off by using promo code A1Trading15. That's A1Trading15. The link and promo code can also be found in the description. Now, on to the show.
All right. Good morning, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Give me a second to share my screen so we can jump into some charts. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Another day, another market move going on. Let's see. I actually haven't looked at the markets yet today, so let's see what's moving. Gold is down. That's a new thing, right? Gold seems to go up every day. Silver's down by 1%. Platinum down 0.3. Oil down 0.5%. A little bit of a pullback coming in on some of my trades here. So I am still, positions-wise, haven't changed very much. I'm still long gold. I'm long oil. I'll show you guys this on the 4-hour chart. So I have, I'm feeling decent about where I've trailed my stop loss. Yesterday on stream, I moved my stop loss up on oil from my initial entry over here. Stop loss is at 83.88 on the spot price of crude oil. Also, I got to fix whatever's going on with my hair today. I apologize for this unprofessionalism. Anyways, 83.88 is where I've got my stop trailed. We talked about it yesterday, but basically price spiked up to this area, rejected it, broke clean out, really strong candle there, and then retested that area and kept going. So my price action theory here on oil is that if it does pull back, that's fine. But where it becomes more than just a pullback for me, and probably where I just take my profits, is if price breaks this 84 level, right? So I have, again, like I said, that stop loss at 83.88 on the spot price of oil. And that marries up nicely with my USO position. So here's that. Again, a little bit of a pullback. Don't mind it as long as we stay above this little pivot spot here. So that's the update on oil. What about gold? Let's take a look at gold here. By the way, this morning we do have unemployment claims, so could be a little bit of activity here this morning. We'll see how that plays out. But for me right now, I have got my stop loss on oil. I'm sorry, on gold moved up as well. I'm debating whether or not I should just trail this stop further because I can see it now very clearly on the 4-hour chart. This is a clean break retest. In fact, that's probably just the prudent thing to do here on this gold move. So I am not going to get married to the trade, right? I'm dating the trade, but let's take a look at this. So I'm going to go ahead and just trail this stop before I forget to do so. So I'm going to move my stop up to 2260. Same thesis as oil. I'm trailing based off the 4-hour chart. So let me go ahead and do this really quick. Again, before I forget to do so, I'm going to trail the stop on gold. Okay, so from current price, you guys can learn my trick on how I cross spot price of gold to ETFs. So let's do this. Why did I type ETF? GLD is the ETF that I trade for gold. Okay, so I'm going to drop down to the 4-hour chart to mimic this one over here. And we are looking for the spot price. Stop loss has now moved 1.10% below it. So 1.10% below the GLD ETF is going to be 209.18. 209.18. There it is. Okay, I modified my trade. Okay, so stop loss has moved up on gold. And let me go ahead and make sure I inform members in the Discord. Give me a second here. Okay. I have most of, oh, come back. There we go. Okay, so gold update. I'm trailing this stop. My entry is the same. Entry is the same. Stop loss has been moved up to 2260. Okay, and my GLD stop loss is 209.18. 209.18. Crazy, you know, GLD I don't think has ever traded in the 200s until this year, and it's cool because it's just gone straight through that 200 level and just kept going. GLD is an ETF that, of course, is meant to mimic the returns of gold. It's a gold trust. Okay, so after new all-time closing high and intraday high, stops being placed just below previous swing low on the 4-hour chart. Still makes just as much sense here. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this trailing stop here. Okay. Take that picture. It's a beautiful picture. Beautiful picture right there. Okay. So just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so for those of you who are in the Discord, that notice should be sent out to you right now. Also, if you're not in the Discord, we do have a free version of the Discord available. So if you'd like some information on that, we'll drop the link here in the chat for you so that you can join the free version where we share regular analysis and ideas and things like that for free subscribers. Okay. So did a little bit of trade management, had to do that, had to get that out of the way. Thank you for bearing with me on that. I know watching me punch orders in is not always the most fun thing, but I had to do it. So I need to make sure that this is visible on current interval, and we'll do current interval and above so that we can see that on the daily. Yeah. So this has been, you know, what started out as a trade here. Gosh, I cannot get the hair right today. Hold on, guys. I gotta go full screen here and look at this. What is going on with the hair? That's it. I didn't put any product in it, guys. I apologize. Okay. Let's see. Go here. All right. So I stay in gold unless it breaks the structure. This green box here represents my defense line, right? So this is my defense. If price comes down here and just breaks through that, then all good. Trade's been a wonderful trade and it's time to get out. And if the trade can't break that level, meaning buyers come in somewhere before my stop loss gets hit, then it's just what I've been doing here for a long time now, continuing to trail, continuing to move higher. And phenomenal trade. Thank you, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, this has been a really, really remarkable trade for me. I'll show you one that I'm dealing with right now. So this is not as fun of a trade. I sold puts on TLT, and I sold puts back here, which ended up looking so pretty. So I sold puts at $93 strike price, right around, I want to say like right around this area. So I sold puts at 93. So of course, price then, actually, no, I'm sorry. I sold puts during this low. So it was like perfect. I sold 93 puts, or 92 puts, and I sold 93 puts. I've done two different call options that I sold. And for a little while there, it looked so picture perfect because, you know, the market is just moving higher for me on bonds. And then strong PMI data kind of took out my idea there, which is fine though. I really wouldn't mind owning some TLT, and you know, you collect interest in TLT, you collect dividends. So there's a dividend yield that you'll collect. But I also will collect yield on the options premium. So I'm not too worried about it if I do get assigned. Again, right now, with a strike price of 93 and an expiration date of April, I think it's April 26th, I could very likely get assigned. It's possible. So anyways, let's take a look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 yesterday had a little bit of a bounce back move, but I think the big thing here is waiting for the jobs numbers, which, by the way, we do have at least some numbers coming out in the next 4 minutes here. So could be some volatility in that regard. Hey, Ivan, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. I hear some people saying haircut, but listen, my wife, she's in charge. Okay. You guys can say, get a haircut, it's too long, get a buzz cut. But I listen when it comes to my looks. There's only one person that truly has the strongest pull on what I choose to do, and that's my wife. She likes my hair long. I like it long too, to be honest. Keep the hair while you can. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Dan. I will. And see, that's the thing. I will. Don't mess with Miss Sykes, says Lily. Yes. That is right. That is right. Anyways, let's see what else. So gold is pulling back. Oil's pulling back. 2-year yield, kind of flat on the day. But again, with this number here, guys, I just want to let's prepare a little bit here for this news. So we have unemployment claims coming out in just over 2 minutes. So what are unemployment claims? What is the meaningfulness of unemployment claims out of the US? Well, so what in unemployment claims is it's the number of people claiming unemployment, right? So if you have a lot of people claiming for unemployment, that shows some weakness in the jobs market and by extension, like weakness in the economy. And if you get very low numbers of people filing for unemployment, then that's healthy for the economy or healthy for the jobs market. And by proxy, like it's a good sign for the economy. So this one's pretty straightforward in terms of claims. If you get more claims than expected, that's going to be not so hot for the dollar. And it's going to, think about what that tells you. More people filing for unemployment. That's not so good for the U.S. economy. So we get that number in about 1 minute here. Will that cause market volatility? Possibly. It really just depends about where. So analyst forecasts are coming out at 213,000. Previously, we had 210,000 unemployment claims. So we will see what that number comes out to be, and that's going to dictate where we go to here this morning. So let's go ahead and switch over here. Again, we've got just about 1 minute. So I pull up the different charts so we can just get an idea of what is moving in relation to it. Why did gold take over my SPX spot? Gold's just wanting all the attention, I guess. Okay, let me do SPX. There it is. Okay, so we got S&P. These are all hourly charts. Let me save my chart. Got gold and oil, etc. About 30 seconds out from unemployment claims. We'll see if this does anything to the market this morning. Could move it, could do nothing. We'll just have to see what the numbers look like. So stick around here. We'll go ahead and do our breaking news. All right. All right, coming in here now, should be getting claims. Let's see if it moves anything. All right, and just an initial blip higher on the S&P 500. NASDAQ, same thing. US 30, the dollar index slightly lower here on the hourly candle. Euro ticked up and pound did as well. Gold, oil. Let's go see what those numbers were. 221K. Okay, so that's kind of that's higher than expected. So remember what we just said. Higher than expected unemployment claims are going to be potentially weaker for the dollar, just because again shows some weakness in the labor market. Weakness in the labor market has been something that the Fed has mentioned is also very important to them in terms of keeping people max employment. So if there's any threat to employment now. Is this number, catastrophic? Not really, because claims come out every week and they can kind of jump around a little bit. Where things get more interesting is probably tomorrow, and tomorrow's employment change, as well as any revisions to the previous number. So that's where things get interesting. Tomorrow we get the big jobs number, which will be a lot of fun. We'll be streaming that event. We also get the average hourly earnings, which are really important because, again, if people are getting raises aggressively, that shows a really strong labor market, but it also can be inflationary, which means prices go up for everybody. So it's always a big event, that NFP tomorrow. Speaking of that, we will prepare a little bit here for that NFP during this stream because, of course, tomorrow, when this event happens, the NFP event, we'll get flooded with a bunch of people. The stream always goes crazy. We have 626 people here. We'll see if we get a higher number than that tomorrow. Tomorrow we could get up into the 1,000 plus. It's definitely happened. You know, we had a stream recently that had 3,400 people on it. I don't know what happened, but we were streaming during a Jerome Powell committee thing. I can't even remember exactly what was going on, but it just went absolutely crazy. It was our biggest stream ever. I've never had more than 3,400 people watching me at one single time. It was crazy. Okay, so let's see what we can get into. So gold is pulling back still, despite claims coming in a little cooler. Let's go see what we've got on gold. XAU USD. And again, if gold rolls over, obviously I would love this thing to just rocket ship higher because I'm already in a long trade. And that would be ideal. But if it does pull back and we do finally get trailed out of this trade, I wouldn't hate it either. Because I think that, you know, we've had a really great run on gold. Is it due for a pullback? Maybe. But does that mean it's going to pull back? Nope. Right? It can do what it wants. At the end of the day, gold is so crazy right now. It's making such an impressive run. You know what's also even more impressive? Check this out. Silver. We've talked about this a little bit, but silver made just a monster move. 21% in just a few short weeks, which is crazy. It's about a month of time. And silver is up just tremendously. So really impressive move on silver. And in fact, such an impressive move that if you take a look at the gold to silver ratio, check this out. That's not what I wanted. XAUUSD / XAGUSD. Gold to silver ratio. You can see so what this shows you is that this is taking how many ounces of silver do you need in order to get 1 ounce of gold, right? So instead of taking the dollar basically out of the equation for a second, how many ounces of silver do you need to buy 1 physical ounce of gold? And you can see that during like COVID, right? During COVID, it went crazy, meaning you needed just a tremendous number of ounces of silver to get 1 piece of gold. Now, longer term, what's cool here is that it typically kind of oscillates, typically goes back and forth. And so right now, this would actually suggest that perhaps the price of silver relative to gold is cheap. And, you know, if you've been saying that for a long time, but, you know, it's possible that we could see the beginnings here of perhaps if a bull market really shows up for the metals market, silver could rapidly outpace gold as it's starting to do right now. We'll have to see though, right? Because again, during bull markets, like the one we had right here, 2020, 2021, metals went crazy, right? Everybody was so enthralled by gold, but what people didn't realize is that silver massively outperformed gold during that same time. So yeah, Edgefinder put me in silver longs 2 weeks ago. Ripper trade. That is awesome, Dan. Yeah, I you know, by the way, Dan, silver is coming to the Edgefinder. It is something that's on our project bucket list, but I'm really excited about that because silver is something that I really love to trade and to watch in the markets. But we currently only have gold. I don't know how it has taken us so long to get silver in here because it's something we talk about frequently, but it is coming. Let's make sure we have the latest data here on the Edgefinder. Okay, so we have currently under the bullish category, look at how slim the bullish category is. Dollar yen, the German DAX, and the US oil market. On the flip side, let's have a look at the bearish stuff, and you can see we've got pound USD, euro dollar, Kiwi dollar, pound Aussie. So slim pickings. I mean, so this is one of the cool things about the Edgefinder is, if you are looking at fundamentals, if you're trying to narrow your search a little bit, obviously the Edgefinder is not the only source of fundamental analysis. However, it gives you a pretty clear idea of what generally trends are looking like. And so if you were to go here, I like to do this. If you get, if you want to just narrow your search in the morning or whenever you do your trading, take out the neutrals. It's a cool trick you can do. If you take out the neutrals, look at this. My watch list across all of the different charts that the Edgefinder monitors is only 7 different charts. So it keeps it really simple. So my watch list here today truly is only these ones. For my trading, for my momentum-based strategy, I use the Edgefinder exclusively to find my trades. So I'm looking at dollar yen, I'm looking at oil, I'm looking at all of these for possible setups that I like. I'm already in oil. I've talked about that already today. I'm trailing a stop on oil, which has been a phenomenal trade that I've caught with the help of the Edgefinder. And then I took a loss on Euro USD yesterday. So just transparently, the Edgefinder is not a holy grail, and I would never present it as such. So I took a euro dollar short that performed not so hot. So I sold euro on the pullback here, and that pullback went ahead and just ate my stop loss like really quick. But that's typically what happens on my losing trades. My losing trades are usually pretty quick. So as it came up to this point, I figured, okay, we had some pretty significant sell-off at this level previously. So I sold Euro USD at this level here. And sure enough, while it saw some initial reaction there, this candle took me out of my trade pretty quick. So I did take a loss on the euro yesterday against the US dollar. So is there another trade here? Maybe, but I just don't like the 4-hour chart as much. I liked it a lot here when it was moving just nicely in this downward channel. I liked that idea of getting short, but then when my position was nullified, right? No longer valid. I don't have any trades on the euro right now. So yeah. I've just tuned in. What are your thoughts on US 30? Yeah, so US 30, I did mention talking about a trade setup as it pulled back here, but I do not have that same setup anymore. When I take trades, it is a combination of technicals, but it's also the Edgefinder. So if it's not showing up on my heat list, right? The top setups output page. If it's not on here, for me, I'm probably not going to place trades on it unless I'm doing, an option strategy, something that doesn't have particular ETFs on the Edgefinder. So for the most part, I would love to be long indices once I get the appropriate signals on the Edgefinder. So with that said, I'm not bearish on the US 30, but I'm not strongly convinced enough one way or the other. Like I'm not going to short the Dow. I'm not going to long the Dow. I'm just literally going to wait until the Edgefinder produces something for me. Hopefully that makes sense. So again, just waiting for my system, my strategy to line up before I take any trades on that. Also, by the way, guys, if you do want a copy of the Edgefinder, here's a quick reminder. Right now, we are doing our biggest sale of the year. We're currently offering 45% off to people who would like a copy of the tool. And if you would like a copy of the tool, here's how you can get access to it. So we're going to drop a link here in the chat right now as we speak. If you click this link, boom, there it is. You'll be connected to someone on my staff who can help you out with getting a copy. These people are ready to help you out. So if you do have any questions, or you would just like some more information about the tool, or you would just like to get access to the discount, again, 45% off. Transparently, this is the biggest discount that we do all year long. So as a sale event, this is the best discount of the entire year. If you're waiting for a trial, please note we are very backed up on trial requests, and it may be some time. And if you are just ready to purchase the tool, again, you can message in on our website. But trials are pretty backed up, so please be patient on that with us. We will be sending out information for trials in the coming days to the quickest that we can. But please note, just so you know, our trials are a paid period. They are not free trials. They are a 1-month 30-day trial that you can pay for. It is not there's initiation costs and time spent to set up each person. So trials are not free, just so you know. Also, again, so if you want access to that, just send a message using this link that's been dropped in the chat for you. You can connect with someone on our team who will give you some information about the software. Okay, let's push on. So pound USD, I want to go check that one out too. So the pound did end up hitting support here. I was kind of looking for it to break that level. I would have actually really liked if the pound was able to like sell off at that level, because then I would have been really interested in selling the retest of it. So pound USD, probably not going to be a trade for me just because it's on the daily chart. It's so choppy. Again, like I said, I was really interested in a sell-off from that low, but we didn't quite get it. Dollar yen, same thing here. I'm looking for a breakout higher on this. So if you get something like this, that could be something to watch out for. NASDAQ, yeah, QQQ, same thing as NAS 100. So the NASDAQ has been range bound here recently, but with today's kind of move going up higher, question is, will it have any sort of strength to get through these highs? Again, I don't have any trades or setups on the NASDAQ just because the Edgefinder is not giving me any confirmation, right? I have no setups for the NASDAQ. We can bring back the neutrals just for a second so I can show you this. So if we go by category and we go indices, right? So indices, NASDAQ is straight up 0 in terms of score. That means that when looking at all the different metrics that we track, everything from interest rates, retail sales, retail positioning, COT data, the NASDAQ comes out as a neutral read. Now, if that flips into a bullish territory, then by all means, I'll be looking for pullbacks to play. But right now, just nothing there. I could look at the one index that I'm potentially interested in, which is the DAX. But the DAX for me is also kind of tricky because we just don't have a structural level that I like being hit. So I'm on the wait list, I guess, for some of these indices. Okay, let's go major currencies for a second. Of the US dollar pairs, it's basically just dollar yen, euro dollar, Kiwi dollar, pound dollar. Pretty much bullish on the dollar, which is interesting. The Bank of Japan said they would intervene above 152. Yep, that could be interesting. We're close to 152 as we speak. So 152 is yet to be hit, but if it does trade through that level, that would be very interesting. I still think if I'm looking at the dollar yen, the intervention threat has been like an ongoing thing for some time. If it, if the market sniffs out that they can't hold that level or hold that promise, that's where you could see a Swiss National Bank sort of event and the dollar yen could just rocket through that level. Central banks will often, as Ivan points out, they will often kind of jockey for position, right? They'll say a certain thing to get people thinking a certain way, meaning they've said like, hey, we're going to support it up here. We're not going to let the dollar keep going higher against the yen. And they can say that, but the question is, will they actually be able to hold it if the market says, well, the dollar's looking strong anyways, and it just keeps pushing? Is the Bank of Japan just going to deploy endless resources to stop that? And can they stop that? That's the question. And if the market decides you can't stop that, that's where you can get some massive, massive moves like the fabled Euro Swiss trade in 2015. We love to talk about this one. I've talked about it like every day. I'm not going to say it again, but basically Swiss National Bank said they were going to support a price level. They took it back and boom, the market dropped 2,000 pips in like 5 minutes. It's crazy. I was not trading FX very much at that time. I don't think I was even trading FX. So I missed that at that time. Back then I was more experimenting and learning about stocks at the time. Anyways, we are coming in here now, guys. We're going to take just a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be joined with Miko and Marco for Technical Thursdays, talking about some trade setups that could be very interesting going into the rest of this week. We do have NFP tomorrow, so things are heating up. The show is just getting started, coming in right after this.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the Edgefinder or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker Eightcap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to Eightcap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now, back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, and we are back with our regular Thursday show. We got Miko and Marco. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Good to have you guys back. And again, for as I prefaced as you guys were coming on, a really important day. Tomorrow is NFP, and a lot of traders are, of course, very excited by NFP. Also, arguably, a lot of them are very scared for NFP, which is, probably the better camp to be in than excited. NFP can be very violent, can move the markets quite a bit. I'm wondering, in terms of setups, where you guys are at, what you're watching for. So we've done this for a while, so I guess we know the drill. Marco, in terms of things that you're watching, we'll go. We'll check out your chart, see what you're looking at here today. What do you got?
Yeah, sure. So your US dollar is moving up with some very nice momentum. So looking for buy setups. A flag has formed here. I like to take flags, but I just think there's a bit too much selling pressure here, and I don't like this slowdown. So I'm not sure if I will take this one. I do like the other pairs. So EJ, I would take a flag if it formed. It has not yet formed. So I do like this momentum going up and this momentum going up as well. Definitely looking for buy setups. So EU on the watch list, EJ on the watch list, AU looking for scalings. Basically had this large momentum up, had this flag entry right here. So first high, first low, second high, second low. Blue candle is the entry candle, and currently running with a 12 pip stop loss around 3.7%, but locked in 2%. Looking for scalings. So if this does continue, I'll look for another flag or a break and retest setup. So the Aussie pairs are looking the best. This one and the Aussie Japanese yen as well. Same story. So had some really nice large momentum, large impulse up. Nice quick flag, no selling pressure. So momentum was still clearly up. Blue candle is the entry candle. 12 pip stop loss and running at 6%, but locked in around 3.7. And same story as AU, looking to buy more, looking to scale in on this very, very nice clean uptrend. Okay, pound US dollar, it's more corrective. I'm not seeing that much momentum after the break of this high. And now we're just kind of flat, range bound, more corrective. So being more patient on the pound. And the final one is going to be NJ. And NJ had a really strong uptrend. I wanted to take a flag here. A flag did not form. But now it's starting to break the structure. So it broke the high, retraced, broke the low, retraced. So I'm expecting a bit more of some range-bound price action like this. And I'm not really going to put this one on the watch list. So the main ones today for me are going to be AU and AJ as well.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, nice moves there on the Australian dollar pairs. They've really, that's a clean push up 0.7% on the day for the Australian dollar. Seems like it hit support around that 0.65 level and just rocketed off that. So very cool. We'll see if those can keep their win streak going. And thanks for sharing that, Marco. Miko, what about you? What's on the watch list today?
So yeah, I've got a few pairs I'm looking at. Currently just jumped into some shorts on USD. We've come into a really nice level. I'm looking to see if we can hold. I was debating between shorting this one and NZD CAD, very, very similar pairs, but looks like dollar is still keeping up with his weakness. But with NZD CAD, we came into a nice level as well. But because they're similar currencies, I do have a rule with that, looking to trade them at the same time. I can trade them, but I need to get one to break even. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're seeing that momentum follow through. NZD CAD is looking a little bit bearish because I think CAD is a little bit stronger than dollar at this moment in time. But I'm shorting NZD USD. I'm overall still bullish on the DXY, but things are looking quite bearish. So I'm interested to see how things continue, especially as you mentioned with NFP tomorrow. I think that will already set things in stone for the week after. But in terms of pairs that I'm looking at outside NZD CAD and NZD USD, I'm also keeping a close eye on pound NZD as well. I do like the buys for this one come into a really nice level here. And again, it's another NZD pair, so I need to be patient before I jump into any buys there. But I'm looking to see if I can find some support to take price higher. Apart from that, other pairs haven't quite set up for me. I do like the yen pairs. We're seeing a lot of momentum there, but I do want to see some bigger pullbacks before getting involved. And then other dollar pairs aren't quite there. Pound USD not quite doing it for me. Euro as well. I came out of some sales earlier this week as well. But at the moment, NZD CAD, NZD USD, and pound NZD is the pairs I'm watching.
Very cool. Yeah, that you mentioned the dollar there for a second. Dollar just seems like it is just falling out of the sky right now. I've got on my chart here, just the daily chart. You could see, we came up to this level once before. Price completely, entered into a few weeks of selling. We've entered a few weeks of buying, and here comes just strong selling again. I mean, this will be if this candle closes similar to the way it looks right now today, that's going to be 3 really strong red candles in a row. And we'll see if it can hold this level. That being said, the risk reward, if you are a bull here, and Mika, you pointed out this level here. If this level holds, the risk reward is probably phenomenal on the dollar. Again, with NFP tomorrow, I think NFP is going to either exonerate this move down, continue it lower, or completely nullify it and we rip back higher. But who's to know what, of course, the jobs numbers are going to be. That being said, I think from a technical perspective, if the dollar is going to move higher, if it's going to continue its trend, this is probably like peak risk to reward if you are a dollar bull, right? Because you've got, as you mentioned, this really nice support level. We'll just have to see how that plays out here today, and go from there. In terms of the dollar index, Marco, what are your thoughts on just dollar index? Do you think it's bottoming out here, or is this just the beginning of momentum? I know if you're looking at it from a momentum standpoint, this probably looks a little scary on the 1 hour chart.
Can you just give me a second to move the stops, and then
No problem. We'll come back.
Got an alert. Sorry. Yeah.
We'll come back to you, Miko. So I guess dollar index, same thing. At what point do you say, and I have kind of a short-term bullish thesis on the dollar too, but at what point do we call it quits on dollar bullishness? Like if this level clearly breaks today, what do you do differently, or if anything?
Yeah, if it does, because coming into the week, I had a few areas I was looking to see if dollar could hold a support. This was one of them as well, but we broke through this very aggressively yesterday. So yeah, this is kind of like my last point of call. So if it does break through this, it does kind of tell me that potentially we're going to see more weakness. I wouldn't start selling it. I wouldn't change my bias altogether, but I definitely would relax on my bullish bias in the dollar and looking to short the other dollar pairs, because for me, this is an important area. And if it does break, it's a big sign. But in all honesty, I think tomorrow will be a critical day in terms of what I'm looking to do with the dollar going into next week and potentially beyond that as well. Because if, like you said, if we really see momentum really pick up and price really does fall, maybe takes out lows here, that for me is a really strong sign that we're going to see more dollar weakness for the coming weeks. If we can hold this and see price really reverse, then I'm expecting price to push back to high. But yeah, I'm interested to see what price does tomorrow. I think that will really make up my mind.
And what's interesting here too, Miko, is we have on the day gold and the dollar both moving down, which is, not usually what happens. For people wondering why that might be happening, just a quick, review is usually the dollar index and gold do kind of move inversely to one another. But what you have to remember about the DXY is it is, of course, comparing itself to its other major currency counterparts. So if you see the dollar index going down, you should also consider, well, what's going on with the euro? Oh, the euro is really strong. Oh, the pound's really strong. so something to think about here is that if the other currencies are really strong against the dollar, that could lead to dollar weakness. That being said, that does not necessarily mean gold strength, right? So just because the other currencies are beating out the dollar in the short term does not mean gold has to go up, right? Gold goes up when what a more appropriate inverse correlation I think actually is the yields market. When yields are dropping, right? When yields are dropping, that's expectations for rate cuts. That's usually good for gold, right? If yields are rising, it's not as good for gold. It still hasn't been a perfect correlation here recently because we have seen yields going up with gold going up too, but it's usually a little bit closer. But just trying to explain that situation, it's been tricky. But what do you think, Miko, about gold? Is gold going to top out here? I've trailed my stop loss, so you won't hurt my feelings if you think if it's going to reverse. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, gold's been absolutely amazing. It's been flying to the upside. So I was talking about gold quite a lot yesterday. And we had some really nice break and retest patterns on the lower time frames, which would be neat and tidy to trade. And to be honest, I feel like gold has had its retracement. So I don't think I'll be hurting your feelings today because we could actually be seeing some more upside if we do see that dollar weakness continue and maybe the correlation comes back into play. But from a technical point of view, on the lower charts anyway, we're seeing some really nice steady higher highs and higher lows. And we have pulled back into a nice area of prior resistance and naturally going to be acting as support as well. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if gold does make another move high and takes out these highs and we see another strong close. So yes, I do expect gold to retrace, have a bigger retracement at some point. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another push high.
Yeah, it's just been a crazy move, and of course, silver has been even more impressive. I don't know if you've been watching that still, but silver has just gone absolutely parabolic in terms of return. I mean, this is from February 28th till about now. Well, to the peak that we saw overnight, 22.6% on the price of silver. Yeah. That is crazy. That's just a commodity. It's not a meme coin or anything like that. 22% is a huge move for a metal. So any thoughts on silver, Miko?
Yeah, I'm liking silver, I must say, because I've been looking to buy silver, but it's just been in a very awkward place for me. But now with this move here, it really does kind of just make everything look a lot better, because this was a big level in the higher time frames. We smashed through that like it was nothing. So now I'm expecting silver to get to its next point of destination, which I would say would be the resistance up here around the 29 mark. So for me, I think it's just looking for those pullbacks, taking advantage of that momentum. So I'm kind of hoping silver will retrace maybe around the 26 area. And I'll be looking to see if I can pick up some longs back to 28.5, 29. So yeah, I really like silver going forward. Yeah,
very, very interesting to keep an eye on. Mark, are you all set to come back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So same question, Marco. Metals world, gold and silver. What are you thinking on metals?
Sure. So let's do gold. So gold on the 1 hour, just by gauging the momentum. I mean, I'm seeing the momentum, but it's looking like it's moving in an ascending channel, which is not that uncommon, but it's not looking like this leg or like these two legs. So I would say there is some strength to the upside and this can continue, but I'm not seeing that much strength just as I analyze the Forex pairs. Now on the 4 hour, it looks a bit better. I mean, I'm definitely seeing momentum in this leg right here, bullish pressure here as well. So yeah, more upside on the 4 hour. That would be my bias. And so what's the ticker?
XAG.
XAG, yep.
Okay, nice. Yeah, this one on the 4 hour, definitely even more strength. Like the momentum legs are very nice, very large. The candles have a clean close on the end. The pullback is just a two candle pullback, zero selling pressure. So this looks absolutely amazing. On the 4 hour, I would definitely expect more upside here and look for buy setups as well. On the 1 hour, yeah, definitely looking very nice. These legs are really strong, especially this one and this one. So silver looks better, and I would definitely expect more upside on silver, but gold, for me, it's not perfect, right? So the momentum is not perfect how I'd like to see on my, let's say, Forex pairs. I just don't like how it's breaking the major highs, leaving wicks and retracing. That's something I really don't want to be seeing for a strong uptrend. So as you guys said, silver is definitely exploding up.
Yeah, silver has been so impressive. It's been a metal that's been really boring compared to gold for a long time, but it's exciting to see it actually picking up pace. And we've talked about at length that if the metals market is really going to run, silver, exploding is a really good signal. So kind of exciting to see that on that front. I guess next up is indices. Miko, any thoughts on the S&P, on the NASDAQ, or the Dow? All three of them have kind of gone sideways here recently, but of course, with NFP around the corner, could get interesting. Is there anything that you're seeing on either of those?
Yeah, so the indices, they did take a bit of a dip the other day. We did see some downside. So I'm looking to see maybe if we're going to see some bigger retracement, because the indices have been very bullish for a while on the higher time frames. And I do think there's a bigger pullback to be had, but we're still respecting structure on the higher time frame. So I'm wondering to see if we can start to break through the structure and potentially have that bigger pullback. For now, for markets like NAS, I've been speaking a lot about this one. I think the best setup that makes the most sense to me is if price can just break the highs and retest it, because we're quite corrective here. The trend is still up. We're still printing these major high lows, but I would want to see price really break through the high, something like this, to really tell me that, okay, the buyers are back. And then, yeah, it looks like a really nice place to get long. So the trend is still up. They're still riding. A bigger retracement expected eventually, but keep playing the uptrend would be my game plan with the indices.
Yep, NASDAQ is definitely looking strong here this morning. It's punching up against the top of that range. It's been sideways for a little bit. I mean, going back to really the beginning of March until now, the NASDAQ has made a lot of movement, but nowhere decisively. So you could say we went down, we came all the way back, we went down. Now we're just back to where we were at March 1st. And again, I think that, as you mentioned, tomorrow's NFP could give you that catalyst if you get jobs numbers that the market likes to break through that high and perhaps give you that breakout retest opportunity for NASDAQ to continue higher. Or if it doesn't, we could very well just continue to chop around. And I think in terms of the indices, waiting for some decisive direction is my preference as well. Got the Dow here pulling back. The Dow did have a pretty clean level here at past resistance pullback here. For me in my system, I didn't have the fundamental reasons that I want to enter lined up, so I didn't take this trade. But from a technical perspective, really pretty level here. We'll see if that can hold and if that continues to push higher with tomorrow's number. Marco, in terms of indices, any of the three or any of them, you could even go, UK 100 if you want, whatever you want to look at. Any indices that are looking interesting to you?
Sure. So the S&P 500, for me, on the 1 hour, it's looking a bit flat. Here, looking a bit flat, like it still has to pick a direction. On the 4 hour, it's going to look, pretty similar, so pretty corrective. I can put a rectangle around it, meaning it's not showing me much momentum up or down. If I squeeze out the price action, overall in a definite uptrend. So maybe if I go on the daily, it's going to print, very strong uptrend. So I would expect much more upside for the S&P 500. I do know the S&P likes to move a bit more correctively. It's not like this is what I want to see. This is how my Forex pairs move, for example. But this is also something the S&P 500 does as well. I have seen it happen. So I'm not seeing much indication of major selling pressure. If a candle like this prints, then I'll be concerned. But all of these red candles are pretty small, nothing to be concerned about. So definitely more upside.
Sure, fair enough. And our last one, we always talk about it once a week. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading at 66,850. I can't remember. Well, I guess I could go back like 7 days. Let's see, 7 days. So it's slightly lower from when we last spoke, I guess. Any thoughts on this one, Miko? Bitcoin, I had this trend line drawn. It looks like it's hitting this longer term kind of trend line that we've been seeing being respected. But I don't know. What do you think about Bitcoin? Any thoughts here?
So yeah, with Bitcoin, I remember last time we were discussing Bitcoin. I think we're around here, as you said, and I was expecting price just kind of slowly make its way back to the high up there, and we didn't quite do that. We sold off. I think Bitcoin overall is just having a tough time back at the highs. Of course, the prior high is 69, 70K. We're kind of struggling a little bit there. So I'm thinking possibly there could be room for some bigger retracement. I'm still, from a technical point of view, I'm still very bullish on the market. We've still got a massive uptrend here, consistent higher highs and higher lows, a lot of bullish momentum. So I would expect higher prices at some point, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the market wants to take a bit of a dive first and then maybe continue higher. The fact that we did sell off there and didn't create the higher high is a little bit of a red flag, I would say. It does show the trend is starting to weaken quite a lot, and it's quite corrected now. So I think a bigger pullback would be healthy and good for the market essentially. But yeah, it's tough to say what the next move will be.
Yeah, Bitcoin, of course, just inherently very, very difficult to try and predict what's going to do next. It's been chopping around here at the top. As you mentioned, this is pretty much where it broke to new highs. Has tested a couple times to get up into the 70s, pulled back, range bound here. I think I'll just share my quick opinion on Bitcoin is, from just a simple charting perspective, I like Bitcoin more on the technical front than on the fundamental even, because I think that if you just straight up get a big candle here, it could just rinse, repeat another run. And it's because it has less like friction to it, like real world assets, like silver, gold, company valuations. Like they have like an elastic band effect to some degree, but cryptocurrency, it literally just goes up when people want it to go up, and it goes down when people don't want it anymore. So I think that that's why the moves are inherently so volatile. On the flip side, if it fizzles out here and we reject those all-time highs, and the longer that it stays away from those all-time highs, I think the more bearish it can get, right? If there's we've seen crypto winters, as they call it. Like if you get several months away from crypto, I think people start getting bored. They start stepping away. All the hype crowd leaves, and the hype crowd is necessary for rips through the highs. You need everybody talking about it. You need the news talking about it. So the longer we stay away from all-time highs, arguably the more bearish I get, which is kind of counterintuitive. A lot of times with stocks, it's different. Like the further we are from all-time highs, the more bullish I get. I'm more like, I want to buy and hold this. For me, with cryptocurrency, it's the opposite. I'm interested in it when it's going up, and I'm not interested when it's going down. And I know that that's like literally the exact opposite of what conventional crypto Super Bowls would say. But for me, I'm not like a massive believer in crypto. So I'm there for when it's relevant, and not when it's not. So I don't know, Marco, what do you think? Is it going back to highs, or are we breaking the lows? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. You gave a good analogy how you compare it with stocks, and like with Bitcoin, you really want that hype. The hype and the momentum, you want it to kick in fairly quickly. So this has been pausing around the high for 2 weeks now. So I really could not tell you. I mean, it just broke the major high somewhere around here, correct? So Bitcoin is really a problematic beast, I would say. If it does go up like substantially, and then I would expect it to explode maybe all the way to 100,000. But for now, I don't think anyone can tell. Again, the hype is kind of going down online. I have seen it. So like the major hype has been around this level. And then as we started ranging around, people have been talking about Bitcoin less and less, which is not good, as you said. Right? You need the hype, you need the news, you need people telling you to buy Bitcoin. So I would wait for it to break some levels. Again, break this level with force, of course, with momentum, or break this level, go back down. Then I think it's going to drop much more if it breaks this one. So I don't think it's going to continue ranging for a long time in this general area. I think something is going to happen, either a move up or a move down.
Yep, very, very good stuff. We'll have to see where Bitcoin is at next time we talk about it, and we'll know it's in a bear market when we stop talking about it, right? Like when it's just plummeting and nobody cares about it anymore, and we're not talking about it. That's probably a good indicator by itself. Miko, Marco, thank you guys both for coming on the show here today. As we finish out here with Miko and Marco, I just want to say to the audience, if you guys enjoyed their commentary, please do us a favor here and make sure to go support their YouTube channels. They have their own content that they put out, and they contribute weekly here to the A1 Trading Show to help us make it what it is. We bring in talented people from all over the globe to share their thoughts, and Miko and Marco are always welcome on the show. So thank you guys very much for coming and adding to the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time. Next week. Let's see what Bitcoin does.
All right. And again, guys, as we end that session, please make sure to go follow Miko and Marco on their channels. It would be very helpful to our efforts just in, our process of bringing on talented people. We want them to grow as well. Okay. So with that said, I do also want to call attention. If you're a regular stream viewer, let me just remind you that currently we are doing our 45% off sale for the Edgefinder. This is our biggest sale of the year. And if you're somebody who's looking to incorporate fundamental analysis into your trading, this is your chance to get a huge discount on the tool. Why are we doing 45% off? Well, we launched this product 2 years ago. This was a long time product that we always wanted to build. When I say we, I'm talking about Frank and myself, who, we've gone back trading together for many years now. And, in our days, we've always been like, it would be so cool if we could have software that helped us to do these certain things. So we built it. So it's kind of been a dream come true for us. We've built what has been so tremendously helpful to not just our trading, but to many other traders around the world. This software allows you to look at so much fundamental data in one singular spot, whether you trade gold or indices, etc. You can get so much data and see how it impacts your charts through our complex but approachable algorithm. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of brain power that went into building this thing, but our goal has been to make it understandable so that you can see, hey, how does services PMI impact the price of gold and our evaluation of whether or not gold is bullish or bearish, right? Or indices. We have indices, commodities, we have currencies, we have even adding crypto. So we are building constantly in this thing, and by purchasing a copy, it is a one-time price to join or to get access. It's browser based, so you can see I'm just in my browser. You don't have to download anything. It is super easy to get yourself access, and currently you have the best discount of the entire year. As I mentioned, 45% off. To get that discount, shoot us a message using this link in the chat right now. If you send a direct message, you'll be connected to a real person on my staff who can get you some information about the tool. And again, grant you access to that 45% off discount, which again is the biggest one that we do all year. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. And with that said, we're going to call it good there, and we will see you guys back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And before you go, make sure to take advantage of our massive discount on the Edgefinder for our 2nd year anniversary. Links are below. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.